All right, we want to show you what just took place in Colorado Springs. This is where President Biden is attending the graduation at the Air Force Academy.
And the president had been standing for about 2 hours, handing out diplomas to all 900 so graduates there. At the end of the remarks, President Biden fell, as you see, on the stage. The president then got back up and returned to his feet.
He seems as if he's fine by what we can see, but what we can also share with you is that the president did take several water breaks before this. He's walking off there under his own power. He seems fine. It's about, what, 65 degrees in Colorado Springs with 47% humidity, but of course, for anyone to stand outside for such a time would be difficult.
He did, however, take some photos with graduates following the remarks. He stood after this and smiled at the audience. So as of this moment, we are awaiting further details from the White House. But following that fall, he did seem to be doing okay.
Yeah, and you see him there with the baseball cap on, his hair slightly disheveled, but he seems fine. Of course, he's addressing the Air Force Academy's class of 2023, so an important moment for all those young men and women, and really an honor for them to have the sitting president there. But you saw how the Secret Service and the staff around him moved quite quickly to make sure he was okay, and he would have had the choice to leave if there was an ongoing issue, and he chose to stay and continue at that ceremony. But it is jarring to see a sitting president stumble over and fall at any time.
To see anybody fall, you are immediately concerned about their health and well-being, and especially when it's the president of the United States. You want to know, is there any reason for greater alarm? We were talking before about the longstanding tradition of presidents going to the various military academies at this time of year, offering commencement speeches, meeting with the graduates. And in this case, the president there in Colorado celebrating the Air Force Academy.
That's right. And you'll likely see that clip and these images circulate online for a while. We are trying to get in contact with our White House reporter who was there with President Biden just to get a bit more context on what we've all just witnessed. But, you know, there are some 921 cadets there of the Air Force Academy's class of 2023. And they are all, you know, trying to take part in this joyous moment. The president doing what he can to shake everybody's hand, to make eye contact, to make sure each of them have their own special moment. And here, this is the moments after the fall. You see the president pulling himself together. You know, his hair slightly out of place, but he continued with the ceremony.
Yeah, he looks a bit pained at this moment, though. As we saw the day continue on, he started smiling, and as we said, started greeting the graduates and speakers and various folks there. According to the White House pool reporter, it looked like Biden was trying to jog off when he missed a step, and that's when he appeared then to fall.
And even when they were helping him back up, or I should say, as he was being helped back up, he kind of pointed back in the direction of where he fell,
where he missed
perhaps to suggest that maybe he tripped over something. I think now we have our CBS News White House reporter, Bo Erickson, who is at the ceremony, joining us on the phone now. Bo, what just happened? What can you tell us?
Yeah, it was quite a scary sight as we're here in Colorado Springs. President Biden just got done shaking his very last hand. He was shaking all 921 graduating cadets. And after about almost 2 hours of shaking his hands, he went to turn around to head back to where he was standing, and he really took a hard fall. The president has tripped several times going up Air Force One stairs. But this was really a hard fall. I would imagine that you could maybe hear a thud nearby. The Secret Service really rushed over to him and had to help him up. After that, there was the oath delivered to the cadets. And now, as you can see here, over
Bo, just one second, Bo.
We are unsure.
Sorry, Bo. With that flyover, our audience here may not have heard what you had to say. But so want to just give you the opportunity to say that again clearly for us.
Sorry, it's a little loud here with the Thunderbirds flying over after the graduation. The president, we are unsure if he is all right. He was just departing this graduation here. We're all kind of stuck in this graduation ceremony because we cannot leave until he leaves. And so we'll be waiting an update from the White House on if he's okay.
All right, and we do know that the motorcade with the president is now rolling towards Air Force One. We do appreciate learning a little bit more about the president's condition there.
That's right. Of course, we hope that President Biden is completely fine. But when you kind of put into context that we have another presidential election coming up, he is 80 years old. He's already been resistant to these ideas that he's not up to the job from a physical perspective. So certainly you might expect, Republicans to pounce on this as part of their campaign ads. But we'll continue to gather information on this and bring you the latest on President Biden's tumble in Colorado Springs.